All right, we are here, Unbound Souls, with myself, Akeem, L, and Raquel. She got something very special for you guys to talk about or listen to, and it's called Lionsgate. She introduced me to this, so I'm gonna let her take over, and you got it.
Hola, everybody. So, Lionsgate, we are in Lionsgate. It opened and it peaks this Friday. They supposedly the portal closes around August 12th. So, what's Lionsgate? 8 8. It's the infinity sign,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Infinity is for abundance. So, right now is when you want to be manifesting your abundance. Anything you're thinking about will amplify, and that's also the negative. So you want to stay in the positive as much as possible to manifest that.
Mhm.
So I encourage everyone just to go on YouTube and to look up Lionsgate. There's a bunch of influencers talking about it, and supposedly this Lionsgate is very powerful. Now think about everything that's happening around the world, how things have been so intense, how you've had the earthquakes, you've had tsunamis, you've had volcano eruptions, you've had these floods. Now, we know that there's some engineering going on, or we hypothesize, but that means that there's a lot of energy.
Mhm.
So this Lionsgate is going to be very impactful. Um, so definitely watch some YouTubes, see what resonates with you, and make sure that on 8/8 you are in abundance manifestation mode all day. Figure out a meditation that works for you, a mantra, anything that helps you stay in that mind frame. Just like you said on Sunday, write your vision down. So if you have a vision for your life, write it down.
Mhm.
The vision, make it positive. There's too much negativity. So sit there and just really believe in who you are,
Right.
and believe that you're meant to be abundant. Abundance is our birthright. We just have a lot of blocks, myself included, big time. So I'm working through that. But you have to constantly believe that you are meant to be abundant. That is your birthright.
Yep. So that's important that we write the stuff down now, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just
Mm-hmm.
mentioned that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm putting the Lionsgate thing on the screen. Oh no, that's kind of big.
Um, yeah,
um.
so everyone really should be looking into that. And then it kind of leads into what I planned for today. Like, kind of wish I had planned more for Lionsgate, but this is still very important.
Hmm.
And the Bible verse, so I'm talking about the business of childhood,
Hmm.
right? Not childhood, birthing in the hospitals. But it does connect, because if we read Genesis 1:28, God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." So, part of our abundance is to have children,
Hmm.
right? It is to help raise children.
Hmm.
And that's something that, in our society, we're told no, productivity, money, that's your abundance.
Yeah.
And it's, progeny. That's part of the abundance. I mean, you work and you grow together.
Mm-hmm.
M- Money, yeah, you can have, but how are you really connected with it? Like, how do you continue a legacy? Being fruitful is also continuing a legacy.
Mm.
right? With money, like I guess if your legacy is you had $10 billion, but you did nothing with it, you didn't make this world a better place. Are you really being fruitful?
Mm.
And who are you really serving?
Right.
So I'm connecting this, and I mean, even if you research this first, they connect it to childbirth,
Mhm.
and childbirth, sadly, is commodified,
Yeah, it's under attack. If you go to a hospital, but go ahead.
right? So it's even during pregnancy, it's commodified in that they're telling women they have to take certain medical interventions,
Hmm.
right? So they make money off of that. Now, when you go into the hospital, do you know how much it is here in the US, more or less,
They have a child in
to
the
have a
hospital.
child? Yes. And it
Last
varies by
this was a
state.
while ago. Oh, and it was paying upwards of $20,000. This was 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So I'm sure it's more than that now.
Well, it's about that. It's about that much. Hang on, because I
20,000
yes, but let's see. The
for them to
average total cost is around 18,000, and it could be as much as 26,000. But that depends on the state. Like those are averages, and that's for vaginal delivery.
without the C-section, cesarean.
Right. So the C-section increases it. Let's see, by 13,000. In if it's in work, and you have in network and you have out of network, and there's plenty of times where the hospital's in network.
Hmm.
But the doctor, if it's not your doctor, and let's say your doctor's on vacation or was called out and another doctor was called in,
Hmm.
that doctor could be out of network and then you're paying a ridiculous amount of money,
Right.
right? So it says, yeah, in network C section is about $13,000. Um, oh no, sorry, $17,000. So vaginal birth will be around 13. It's showing around 11,500, 13,000, and then the C-section is 17,000. But it depends by the state. So in California, a C-section can be as much, supposedly, from what I'm reading here, can range from as high as $70,000.
Mm.
So are we having children, or are children being delivered in a way that's profitable or beneficial
They're doing it
for the child?
profitable.
Yeah.
But while you were doing that, I typed up where did this word cesarean section come from? Because it seemed like an odd word, right?
Uh-huh.
Do you know what it means? Cesarean section?
You know,
I
that
know
was
it,
a long time ago,
what the
but
procedure is, but
yeah.
the origin of the word. Well, it's a Roman law word, means requiring the fetus to be removed after maternal death. So they did C-sections originated from if the mother died, you had to
Hmm.
remove the baby from the womb. And the word actually means to cut out, cutting of the womb. That's what it means. It's sectio cesaria, cutting, a cut out. So, yeah, that's crazy. Okay. You know, you, so this comes from ancient times, and this is where it comes from, cutting of the
But they're letting you know that it was only meant if the mother died.
right. It's not wasn't meant to as a procedure.
Now,
Now
yes,
it's
now
like
it's just
almost
like,
everyday thing. Let's cut her out, cut the baby
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, they make more money off of it,
Right.
right?
So
And
do you
then,
think? What do you think? Do you think that when the baby doesn't come through the womb, that it loses some spiritual aspect?
yes, for sure. Oh, I guess my light went out. So. Gonna be kind
Your
of in the
stock is
dark.
still you still look, it's pretty good.
Um, so, oh, for sure.
Mm,
There's so many benefits to a vaginal birth.
right,
So one of them is the bacteria,
right.
right? The baby swallows some of the bacteria when it goes through the mother's birth canal. That bacteria then helps to set the gut biome.
Mm,
And the gut biome is very important. The gut biome, they say, is the second brain, but it's the brain and the gut communicating.
right.
If bacteria isn't there, you're not going to have a healthy gut. You're probably going to end up having more of a leaky gut from birth. Like most Americans have leaky gut.
Right.
Um, and when you have leaky gut, it's like think of a sifter, right? Or when you have like the pasta and you put it through the what do you call it? I don't even know the proper word in English because we make stuff up with.
Right.
um, you know when you just dump the pasta and the water comes
Yeah.
out,
Oh,
right?
you when you strain it, strain the water. Is
Yes,
that
a strainer. That's it.
right?
We just
Strainer. Yeah.
so I don't know why it slipped my mind, but it
Mm,
how it just the water just comes out,
right.
right? It just strains.
Mm,
Well, when you don't have the bacteria and your gut biome isn't strong
mm-hmm.
or healthy, you're going to get leaky gut. So what happens? Imagine the pasta being the food and the water being,
Mm-hmm.
the nutrients.
Right.
Well, you'll get some nutrients there because they're big enough to stay, but then you have a lot of them just kind of leaking out.
Right.
So then you can't develop the neurotransmitters that are needed to help the brain and the body stay stable,
Right. Okay.
right?
Got it.
So right then and there, that's affecting the child. It can lead to allergies. Imagine because your body can't break down certain things because you don't have the bacteria.
Right.
It could lead to increased asthma. There's studies showing that it can cause or it can increase the incidence of autism and ADHD. Right. So if your brain isn't um, connecting very well, or there's so many insults to the brain,
Mm-hmm.
you need your gut to help heal your brain. But if your gut is leaky or you don't have the proper bacteria, how is it going to help your brain,
Yeah.
right? So that makes a lot of sense with ADHD and autism. Obesity, right? So they're trying to say obesity is genetic. Okay, so let's give people a cop out.
Yeah.
Um, if your body does not have or your gut does not have the proper bacteria, how are you going to break down food? So
Yeah.
it's just kind of collect in your body. Your
Yeah.
body can't break it down. Your body's meant to eliminate what it doesn't need, but how can you eliminate what it doesn't need when you don't have the tools to break it down?
Right.
Right. So it has the gut. Me as an occupational therapist, I look at the primitive reflexes. So primitive reflexes are reflexes that develop in utero and they integrate within the first year to 2 years of life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're going through the birth canal, you're kind of swimming, right?
Right.
Someone just said they tried calling but didn't hear anything, so
I'm
they're.
it wasn't I hadn't started that section, so I'm gonna try again.
So you're like swimming. You're doing this movement, and what you're doing is you're helping to integrate a primitive reflex, which is called the spinal galant.
Mm-hmm.
And so that when the spinal galant isn't integrated, it can lead to a host of other issues. I believe one of them is like anxiety. You can't even write well um, because it affects like your body, your bilateral coordination, and your body's ability to just coordinate itself. So if you are not coordinated, how can you write well? So a lot of the kids that I work with struggle with writing, and a lot of them were born via C-section.
Mm.
I would say a significant portion of them were born via C-section. Um, and then when you look at it from kind of like a grit perspective, like grit is so important. Your ability to keep on pushing forward despite anything what's happening. Like it's failure is not an option. You're going to keep on going. You're going to figure it out.
Mm,
Going through the birth canal is letting the baby know life is not going to be easy.
mm-hmm.
So you really have to work at making it out.
Right.
So when you do a C-section, it's there's no
Y-
effort.
There's no effort. Yeah.
So how does that affect their psyche?
Yeah, the ability to persevere.
Exactly.
Right.
So here's your
I think
first experience
that's
on Earth.
that's an interesting point you brought up. Um, because I didn't think of that. You know, every step of the way of the life cycle, there is some degree of perseverance you got to go through. Like even at the beginning, the birth, you have all of these sperm cells surrounding the egg or trying to make it to this egg, and only one is allowed in to create the baby. No, yeah, somebody's coming in. I just submitted them. Let's see how this goes. Hello? I hear a beeping, but I don't. I say admit, but didn't I don't see them. Okay. Oh, you got to unmute yourself there. Let me see if I can. Yeah, they're unmuted now.
There you
All
go.
I see is 347-206. Can you
Yes,
hear us? I hear you
I
in the
hear
back.
you.
Okay. There we go. You- Oh, Raquel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. What's your question or comment?
Oh, I just was just so grateful for you guys. Like I really didn't have a comment. I'm just so grateful
Oh,
that
well, thank you.
you guys are sharing this knowledge, and I know you have helped me a lot, Raquel. So I'm just trying to come in and support as much as I can and gain as much knowledge as I can, especially when it comes to physical health
Mm.
and our,
Thank you.
body autonomy and all that stuff. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt the line.
No,
I
you
just wanted to
good.
listen in.
We were looking for callers. You are our lucky
Oh,
number one
okay.
caller, first caller that ever called in our show. So thank you.
Really?
That means that
Yeah.
Okay.
start multiplying. We've been looking for more people to call in and
Yes,
to share.
Hey,
I'm
Lionsgate
definitely
multiplying.
Yeah.
hi. I'm definitely asking for that because I feel like I'm standing alone. I feel like for the past 5 years I've been standing alone, and I know I haven't because I know you've been fighting as well. But still, it's just a lot.
So tell me about that standing alone. What do you be specific? What are you talking about?
Oh, but it's off topic. I don't want to get off
It's
topic.
okay. We can go a little. We'll get back on. You brought it up. So I'm curious.
Well, it'll. Well, like with the COVID and the medical establishment, and then just you know
So
all of that kind of started the path to you know learning law, learning body autonomy, learning the difference between the two governments, learning the Constitution. As much as I hate this government, I still feel like I have to learn a lot of
hey,
their lingo, their speech,
you gotta understand.
and I don't. I know, yes, we are in war. Yes, yes, yes.
Here's the thing: they're at war with you. You're not at war with them,
Yes,
but you need to understand
yes,
how they
of my
work.
own interests.
Yeah.
Yes,
It,
yes, 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 yes. I'm understanding that now. I'm
mm,
getting that process. Like I'm betraying my own natural order
mm,
by consenting and complying to this bogus government.
right. Right.
Yeah.
And I 5 years ago, I mean, I was there fighting with you, sis. You might not remember
We're
because of
still
my voice,
fighting. We're still
because you can't
fighting.
see my face.
Hmm.
We're
But
still fighting.
5 years ago was when it really like opened my eyes. Like, wait a second, what's happening here? Oh, it's really because we're that powerful. We really
Hmm.
have, our cells, our DNA, our organs, our meridians, our nervous system, the atoms in our body are so powerful. They're so afraid of the day that we wake up that they have to pacify us and control us,
Mm.
Hmm.
in this manner. The fact that they have to go through these extreme measures to control us
Hmm.
proves to me how powerful we are,
Hmm.
especially as a woman with a uterus, a living portal in my body that I'm
Hmm.
responsible for,
Hmm.
and how they hate that portal so much.
That's why they are attacking you guys.
So,
Have children, you get fibroids. The first thing you want to
yes,
take out is your uterus. I know
yes, that's what happened to me.
she had no children. She was in her like right early. She was right before 30. She was young. She had no children and she had fibroids, and they recommended taking the uterus out. And I knew her, but I didn't know her enough to give her like, listen, don't do that. There's ways to get rid of those fibroids without having to
Hmm.
um take out your uterus. I said, you take your uterus, that's your whole essence of being a woman. And but I couldn't, I didn't have that place in her life to even share that with her. But
Yeah,
they are
that's exactly
here's
what
the
happened
thing, when
to
they take
me.
those uteruses, they're doing stuff with that.
Hmm.
They're
Yes,
trying
yes, they are.
other beings.
Absolutely.
That's they doing the transgender stuff, right? They're taking those uterus
Yes,
and trying to transplant those into men. That's
Yes.
yeah,
actually what they're trying
yep.
to do. They're trying to create them a creature.
So this
But
is for, wait,
Yeah.
but we have to
yeah,
give the caveat. This is for educational and entertainment purposes
yeah, we
only.
gotta we gotta qualify that.
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, yes.
Well, see, I I
And
never
it's funny
really.
you mentioned that.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said it's funny that you mentioned that because 3 years ago I was on my deathbed. I had 30 days to live because I was bleeding out so much.
Mm-hmm.
None of the doctors wanted to touch me. This has been a 12-year ordeal. None of the doctors, my own colleagues, because I worked in medicine for 23 years.
Mm-hmm.
So my own colleagues, my own peers are like, "Oh, you don't need it. Just get a hysterectomy. It's not that serious. It's just a fibroid." And I'm looking at them like, "Are you guys crazy?" So I fought it and fought it and fought it. I was 300 pounds. I did a vegan diet. I did everything
Mm-hmm.
that I was doing, and you know what? It was coming out. But the problem is, it was the fibroid was coming out, but it was ripping my cervix because it was stuck on the stalk to
Let me-
be,
If you don't
you
mind me
know,
asking,
to
other
give.
than the vegan, what else were you doing to get rid of the fibroid?
Oh, I was exercising. I was using castor oil packs.
Oh, okay.
I was
That's all.
uh,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I was using acupuncture. I was doing frequency therapy. I currently work at a frequency therapy facility here in Jersey because I moved to Jersey. I had to move to Jersey
Right.
like a refugee because of these COVID shots.
Right. Right.
So I did everything that I was, like I said, I was 300 pounds. I dropped 120 pounds. I did everything that the medical establishment, like that they tell you to do and more. And I did the Dr. Sebi. I did Queen Afua
Mm.
because she used to come to my job and do workshops. So I met her and I actually got, practitioner services from her in person because she came to my job. And I just slowly did it and I was doing really well until 2021 when the fibroid started to abort and I started bleeding out, and no doctors wanted to touch me because I didn't want to get vaccinated.
Mm.
So an ex-boyfriend, because I have colleagues that used to work in medicine, but they all had left during COVID.
Right.
And the only person that I had left was an ex that was working in a hospital in New Jersey, and that doctor saved my life and my uterus. I kept my uterus.
Good. Good.
So all he did was he, like cleaned everything up. He helped me, and I moved to New Jersey to be closer to them because my hemoglobin was a 5. I did not have a blood transfusion either
Mhm.
because I didn't want to take on any generational trauma. I didn't want to take on memories of someone else, and then they can't even guarantee that they won't give you HIV. So I was like, I'm not doing a blood transfusion.
Mm-hmm.
So because he kind of understood, they tricked my body into having more blood, and they did robotic surgery, and they saved me. He was the only one out of numerous doctors. I've spent thousands of dollars on these idiots, on these demons. They're demons, walking demons, because they're supporting Rockefeller and Carnegie medicine.
Mm-hmm.
And I just know it's a no for me.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to see you
So
through that.
yeah, I just
That's
wanted to.
good.
Yeah, me too. I'm very grateful, and with the grace of the Most High, and just trying to inform myself and trying to articulate my words, because during that time I just couldn't speak calmly. Like my emotional intelligence was just I was just so aggressive,
Mm.
and I'm so grateful that I was able to get those words to articulate, and now I'm much better. So now I'm trying to learn more because I can't comply. I can't deal with these cops anymore. I can't deal with the way the system is, even down to the parking tickets. I'm over it.
That's New York.
And I did get,
That's
yeah, 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 yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Even some parts of New Jersey, it can get like that too.
Yes, I
So
was
like I
told.
haven't complied.
Mm.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so
No, no,
sorry. I
I
didn't mean to get off
no, no, no,
topic.
it's okay. No,
No,
no, no, no. I have a relative that just told me the other day. She's like, New Jersey is getting a lot like New York with the
yeah.
parking
You
tickets and
got to
stuff
come.
like that.
Yeah,
So
unfortunately.
We don't deal with parking tickets here.
Yeah.
We deal more with them catching you for speeding, the speed traps. But in the South, the
Yeah.
tickets is, and if you did, it's like $2. It's not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm learning the servitorship. I'm learning how to like fight that since it's ordinance and it's not law. Like I'm getting that understanding.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna fight it. I'm trying to fight it, but that's for another day.
Yeah.
But I'm so very grateful to you both. I really am. I'm very grateful that you stood up. I'm very grateful because I've been following for a while, even though I haven't seen you.
Mhm.
I'm very grateful that you've been standing up for us,
Mm.
and very grateful that you've been
You talk
passing on this knowledge so that
I
we,
just want to make sure who you're referring.
both of you, yes,
Both.
Raquel, yes, but you also,
I'm good. Yeah,
because I,
I'm good. I want to make sure she get the recognition she deserves. Yeah. Okay.
yeah. She's been fighting for Puerto Rico, so that's how
Yeah.
we met,
I
and
came in when I
ever since
saw
then,
Puerto Rico. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. That's
So
good.
ever
Oh,
since then, I've been listening and trying to share, over and over again in layman's terms, and I feel like it's hitting people now.
yeah, it is.
I do. I feel like it's coming,
Yeah, people are.
and it's coming because of people like you, both of you,
Yeah.
that
and you.
are not afraid,
Oh, I'm not.
and teaching us with love.
You know why I'm not
Yeah, but
afraid?
you're teaching.
You know why I'm not afraid? Because
Right.
the God in me, number one, and then I have all my ancestors. They protect me.
Yes.
They're
Yes.
here. You know,
Agree.
I
Yeah, they are.
you know, that's the thing we have to get back to. This current religious structure has taken us away from our ancestors. But if you read the Bible, all it talks about is ancestors. You know,
Yeah.
I,
Ancestors, the universe,
I,
nature.
yeah.
Hmm.
When Jesus met the woman at the well, they were talking about our ancestors. You know, because that well that they
Yeah.
go to was a common well to go and get water. And Christ said, "I can give you water so you can never thirst again." And she was like, then she started, oh well, ancestors this, and it's all about giving respect to your ancestors because they went through some things before we did. And they have some wisdom that we don't have yet that they can bestow upon us, even though they may not be here physically, the spirit of them is still here.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Right? Of
And
course.
this,
Go ahead.
oh, I was going to say, and this current government is like you said, is going against that. We're
Oh yeah.
betraying the ancestors
Yeah, they want
by
they,
participating
they want you to
in this.
them. That's what they want. They want you to look to them. And you said
Yeah.
something very important when you started out. They are more afraid of us than we are of them. That's why they want to censor what you say and watch what you do, because they know once they get that out of control, they have no more control. This system works 100% by consent, meaning
Yes.
our belief systems and what we believe in the power that they have against us is what makes people behave a certain way. But we are consenting to that, whether we
Yeah.
like it or not, want to believe that or not. Well, I have to do it because they'll do something. See, people are only doing things because they believe some consequences is coming from that, like they're God. So
Yeah.
once you make that click, that wait a minute, these people are not gods. They created. It's like the Wizard of Oz, and the Wiz is down there, doing all these, making all this noise, seeming like he's all powerful, but then you look behind
Hmm.
the curtain, it's just this old guy playing with
Yes.
some tools. That's what we're dealing with.
Hmm.
That's what we're dealing with. And
Yeah.
the Wicked Witch of the West is that I don't know if you saw the last Wicked, the last version of the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of Oz. It's called Wicked.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
I saw the show, but I didn't see
You
the
should
movie. But
watch it.
unless
It's
they added stuff, but yeah. Okay.
they really broke down how we always thought the Wicked Witch was wicked, and she wasn't. She found out that the wizard didn't have power, and once she found out he didn't have any power, they went after her.
Wait, is this
She
the
had
one
the
with
power.
Ariana Grande? That
Yes,
one?
it's you gotta watch it. Yes.
Oh,
All the
wow.
subliminal messages
Wow.
in there.
Okay.
They coming out with a second one. Because remember, the Wicked Witch is a black woman. That's how it's a
Yeah.
black woman
Yeah.
playing that role.
Yeah.
And she
Yeah.
had power. No one else had the power she had. She had the most power. And so they brought her into the Wizard
Yep.
of Oz where he was, and she was special. And she thought that they wanted her for because she was special, made her feel special. But she realized they didn't have power and they needed her power. And then that's when she rebelled.
Yep.
And then they turned on her and made her look like a bad guy. But do you understand
Yeah.
Wicked Witch of the West? There was a black queen of California, Califia.
Khalifa.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the wicked witch of the West, of West, and they villainized her, took her land, all of that. But so those when you watch it, you'll start to see all of the hidden messages that is in there.
Yeah.
So this,
And it's interesting that you say that the the black witch had a lot of power, and that's what they going back to the topic. That's what they do to the woman, to the black woman,
yes,
and they use her cells. They
hmm
use her energy, her cells, her DNA to recreate, to clone, to. I mean,
hmm
the fact that they 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 use like you can't create us in an animal's body, but an animal can be created in the womb of a woman.
hmm
You understand what I mean? Like in science, like we
yeah,
can, a woman can, the black woman can create anything,
hmm yeah,
and they know
you're
that.
starting to delve into all of the genetic manipulations that's been going on in this planet for thousands of years.
Yes, and it's
The,
and it's by
the
design, and
truth
it's
of the matter,
especially for the woman.
right? The truth of the matter, every other being on the planet that is of the people other than the people of color is a subspecies of the human race, meaning they come
Yes.
from some type of genetic manipulation. Now, I can go into that,
Yes.
but
Yes.
we ain't going. If I some of the stuff I say, it's so it's so out.
People will get offended.
People would get
Yes.
offended.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it'll violate
Every
community guidelines.
right. I can tell
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But actually, if you watch movies, like you ever see the movie Shallow Hal? It's an old movie.
Yes.
Shallow Hal.
Yes.
Remember the his friend said he had a tail. He was
Hmm.
born with a tail.
Yes.
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 Go look up.
And it's always the gringos.
Right. Go look up now. Now I'm telling you this. Go look up people with tails on YouTube, and you'll see all kind of pictures of
Yes.
babies with tails on it. And
Yes.
it's a certain type of people that got these
Yeah.
tails.
Yes.
You see what I'm
Yes.
saying?
The
And it's a
splice
certain
DNA, the splice
the D-
DNA, the foundlings.
the
Yeah.
the canine DNA. There's a certain group of people that come
Yes.
from canines.
Felines.
Yeah, it's just,
Yeah.
but
Yep. Yep.
when it start to make sense. But this is something. The stuff that you're hearing about, far as science and stuff, is some these things our ancestors had done so many years ago, and the Pandora's box got open, and now this is
Yeah.
have what we have today. But it gets. I
Yeah.
could go into this all day long, so I'm gonna just back off that. But in a private conversation, I'll break it down. But
Yes. Yes.
but a lot of the movies give you hints as to the heritage of people. Because if you watch the King Kong, and it was a group of people that he was protecting,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? They said those was his
And I agree with it.
right.
And I have to agree with it because of the behaviors, the predator behaviors.
Mhm.
Why do they behave like predators? Why do we have a predator system? This is a
Because
predator
it's
system.
basically
They stalk us, they surveillance, control.
basically
So it would make sense that that happens.
yeah, it's basically not being in original of the planet. The
Yes,
originals of the planet, and it's not even about dark skin and color. It's all DNA connections, like the
they,
structures,
yeah.
right? The people that are natural to this planet have no problem with the sun. Okay.
Oh my God, yeah, I love being in the
Okay.
sun. I burn, but I can never get enough of it.
But
I could sit in it all day.
but you burn, but you don't get the peeling and the melting. You don't get that. You just burn, right? That-
No,
That's it.
it's just a burn, and then I put aloe vera and
You-
call it a day.
Right, you
Yeah.
good. Right. I remember I went to Dominican Republic once, and my first time in Dominican Republic, it was me and my daughter. We took this excursion to go snorkeling, and and then it was like a feast on an island. So I'm on the boat, and all of the certain people were putting their sunscreen on, right? And my daughter
Mm-mm.
wanted it, and one of the women were trying to give her the sunscreen, and I was like, "No, you don't need that. You don't need that sunscreen. You don't need that. Well, she's gonna burn." I said, "We're gonna be just fine." And I don't know if you've ever been in Dominican
Yeah,
Republic. In the like July, it's hot in Dominican Republic, right?
it's hot.
And
Yeah,
you on the water, no
yeah. I'm half Dominican.
shade. In the beach, the
Yeah,
sand
yeah,
is
yeah.
hot, to your feet and stuff like that. But I was burned. I said, "Man, I'm gonna be burnt later." But I felt the burn, but I didn't have any peeling, and just for that time I was burning. And the sun is
Yeah,
really good for our skin, very good for our skin. Um,
yeah.
so
And I notice when I take the vitamin D, it really helps me when I sit in the sun, like with
right,
my joints,
mhm,
and just my overall well being.
yeah,
Hmm. Yeah,
yeah,
no, vitamin D is very
So
important.
yeah, yeah. I never used sunscreen in my life. I've always hated it and never understood why. And now as I got older, I understood why. I always was like, why am I putting this
yeah,
crap on my skin? I always hated it.
yeah. And
And I would just
so,
get aloe from the bodega or the Mexican stores,
mhm.
and I would just get aloe, like fresh aloe, and just put it on my skin and call it a day. That's what my grandparents used to do. And I'm fair skinned, but you know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Your
I
skin could have a lot of melanin in it. It's not so much about the darkness of the skin. It's just the degree of melanin you have.
yeah,
Just some people just
yeah,
don't have it, you know. Well, it was good
yeah.
talking with you though. I'm glad you're doing better.
Yeah, thank you so much.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm sorry
Keep
I
it on.
interrupt. I didn't know I
No,
was gonna call
Yeah.
in that way, and I didn't really want to go off topic, but I'm grateful
Nah,
that I was
nah.
able
We
to
we
share a little
appreciate
bit
the
of my
interrupt.
story.
We appreciate it. Makes your show interesting.
Okay.
yes.
Don't
Yeah.
let this be your last time.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll
That
hear from
what?
you again. I said,
Yeah.
don't let it be your last time. We'll hear from you
Yeah.
again.
Oh no, no. I'm gonna stay consistent and commit and support. I've shared Raquel's story because something happened to me yesterday that really, really hit me hard, and I remember Raquel talking about what happened to her with the cops.
Yeah.
And I just was like, you know what? It's really time to get serious and commit.
Well,
Because I really wasn't committing because I was trying to recover and mentally I wasn't there to really. So now I'm going to start supporting even more because, it's getting more serious and I want to be able to um, fight in a way that, you know, I just want to fight back. I just don't want to comply anymore
mm,
without being harmed, you know,
yeah. See,
and learn the truth. I want more truth.
what's happened with the cops now? Years ago, these types of aggressions that the cops would have would be against males. You would hardly ever hear cops manhandling women.
Or children.
This is what happened. This is or children. This is what happened. They've done it so much to the men, and now this age of men is so docile and so non-threatening. They did their job with the men. Now it's time to get the women.
Hmm.
You see,
Yeah,
that's how you know that you are dealing with an evil system. That they will attack women
yeah,
Hmm.
because now, well, we didn't get no cops.
yeah,
It ain't standing up. Now, there's certain communities that wouldn't have that. They'll go and tear up the whole precinct, and they have done it in the past. Certain group, I won't say the names.
yeah.
You can't talk about certain
I
people,
know.
but they have done
Mhm.
it, and nothing has happened to them. See, the problem is, like I said, it's all by consent. We're allowing it. Why do we allow it? Because
Yeah,
we're scared of consequences. We're scared of going through the trouble. Like Raquel, she stood up for herself. She could have just as easy as said here and then kept it going, and her day would have remained peaceful. But for some reason, the spirit of God, the ancestors got in her and said, "No, I'm not putting up with this anymore." Now they got to write a check. You see,
yeah. Good.
just from that difficulty, the reward is going to come from that. But if now think about
Yeah,
it, if everybody, just let's just say 20% of the people just did that, it would change laws. It would
Hmm.
change how they interact with people because it would start costing too much. See, it's all about money. Once it start costing them too much, hey, wait a minute, we gotta stop this. See, they're making more money off of writing tickets and people just giving in.
yeah.
You see, most people
Like
just
last
take a
night,
deal.
I kind of sort of gave in, but then I was like, no, I couldn't. So they let me take my car home.
Mm,
At least they let me take my car home,
right,
but they took my plates. They took everything. Like I just, but that's for another day. But
right,
eventually I'm gonna fight it. Just right now, my mental capacity. I didn't want to consent. I didn't want to comply, but and I tried to stay as calm as I could, and I tried to explain to them, like I cannot comply, I cannot consent to any of this with everything going on right now. I'm not understanding law. I can't consent to how you behave. You know.
right,
So she was gracious enough to let me keep the car. Because I haven't been complying.
right,
So but I get it that they're protecting the assets versus the people.
right.
and that's why they
You have an
behave
agenda.
that way. So that part I'm understanding.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right.
Definitely.
Well, that was good. Good,
Yeah,
conversation.
yeah. I'm grateful. Yeah,
Well, we
Thank
wish
you.
you
yeah. I'm very grateful to
be
you
safe.
guys.
Be safe out there.
Yes,
All right.
I will. I will. Thank you.
All
I'll
right.
keep watching. I'll keep watching the lives.
All right. Good.
Thank you again
All
for all that
right.
you do.
All right.
Good
All
night.
right. Thank
All right.
you.
All right. So that was good conversation. So what do
Yeah,
you
yeah.
what do you think? What do you have to say,
Uh,
right now? We were talking.
with all that. So, how I was saying, when a baby doesn't have that chance to struggle,
Hmm.
right? They're more likely to kind of give in.
Right.
So think about it. Even what she was saying, like she didn't want to comply. And with everything that was happening, 5 years ago with the vid and the shots, if your mother was complying while you were in the womb
Mm-hmm.
with all these interventions
Mm-hmm.
that really went against our ancestors, which is something in my notes, like childbirth, that's when you want your ancestors there, and this now in this society they're eliminating that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the mother's complying, that energy is attaching to the baby in utero. And so then when the baby isn't born the way it's meant to be born through the vaginal canal, because the mom was just like, okay, I'm going to comply, this is what the doctor said,
Mm-hmm.
they're going to comply throughout their life. That's a lifelong consequence. Like
Right.
there's an increase, I can't say with absolute certainty, but there is that tendency. Like if that attached to you in the womb and as you were coming into this world, if that is the vibration that you received when you were coming into this world, then what else are you going to comply with? Like
Right.
like now I want to do a study. How many people were born via C-section, or a certain type of birth or what have you, and those who complied? Like I'm curious if
Right.
there
Yeah.
would be
Be
some sort
interesting
of
to know. Right.
statistical
Yeah. That
significance.
would be. Yeah. Yeah.
you know. So
You got to
that's what I was.
understand anything that they're doing that they created when it comes to bringing a child into the world is to create trauma, number one.
Mhm.
Because through trauma, you get compliance.
Mhm.
You see? And it's against the natural way of having a child. We're not
Right,
supposed to have a child
it
inside
fragments
of
the psyche, the
all these
spirit.
electronic devices giving off RF waves into a newborn baby right from the start entering to the
Mhm.
world. So not
Mhm.
only getting the trauma of having that childbirth at the hospital, they're getting the trauma of all of these negative energy waves piercing their bodies.
Mhm. Mhm.
Um, it's I always said the attack was always on the woman. Even if they attacked the men, they were really attacking the women because they're sons of somebody. They're the husband or the brother to someone.
Mhm.
So the number one um thing is going after the woman and going after her mind and controlling that, because from that they got everything else. If you got the women's mind, you got a society. You got a whole society if you got them the
Right.
control of them.
So think about even with grandmothers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, or the grandmothers at one point had three generations
Mm-hmm.
themselves, the female, the woman, the girl that they were carrying in their womb, and that baby girl's eggs.
Right.
So when you do capture the mind of a woman, you have the potential to capture three generations.
Yes. 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 Yep. And that's why it's very important for women to wake up to read
Hmm.
the game that's being played on them. Because what are they teaching young women now? Go get your education, do your own thing, be independent. That is creating less family structure, and it's dividing the economic stability of the family. Think about it. If everybody's going to school and just moving away from each other, you over here paying rent over here, you're paying rent over here, there's no room for you guys to pool resources together and thrive.
Hmm. And that's how it used to be.
Yeah, you see. But that's how, like, even in this country, the Mexicans were very good for coming and they work together. Even I'm starting to see them drift apart. Oh, the longer they're here in this country, they're starting
Hmm.
to divide.
Hmm.
The energy of this capitalistic society is division.
Hmm.
Division of the family. Okay, the parents go to work, send your kid off to school. He's divided. Now
Hmm.
we got the system indoctrinating the child while the parents out there struggling to make ends meet. And then they come home, they're not barely speaking because they're so tired from being a slave to someone else, creating
Right.
someone else's dreams. So
It's trauma, trauma, trauma.
it's
And it
trauma
just
in every
keeps on
form.
fragmenting the psyche and the spirit. It's just,
Right.
from in the womb to the birth to then being in daycare, then having to go into the school and then being told, being indoctrinated in the school and not being allowed to be creative.
Be
You're
creative.
being
No,
told
you
to
gotta
follow
do exactly
orders.
what we say how to do it, not
Yeah.
come up be original. There's nothing original thought about the educational system, public education. There's nothing original about it.
Right.
It's all, and then it was designed that way. It's a
Hmm.
machine that was created, and it's doing its job. The issue
Hmm.
is we have to unplug from that idea of education by saying, "Hey, I'm going to educate my own child. I'm going to homeschool them." But the problem is the way the society is built that parents have to go to work and they feel like they don't have time to educate. So what do? They give their child up to bail and let
Hmm.
him do the raising.
Hmm.
So it's deep when you really look
Yes.
at it. It's really deep. A lot of layers to it, and it's really comes down to us. If like, I have children. They all, my youngest is 18, about to be 19. And I said, I typically don't want any more children, but under the right circumstances, I would do it again. But this time, I would do it. No, no, of course, no vaccinations, no public education.
Remember, there are certain words that are triggering. This is for
Oh,
educational,
no,
entertainment purposes only.
no
No
radio.
injectable medical interventions.
Yeah, no, none of those things that they say your kid's supposed to have. None of those. It would be totally a different type of raising. But to have that type of situation, you have to be connected with someone who is really into that. In this day, sometimes what happened now, one of the parents wake up and want to do something different. The other person is still asleep or still wants to be a part of the system. And the people are breaking up just on that stuff. I've seen that come from the whole C word
Yeah.
situation. I've seen a lot of people break up just because one of the parents woke up and wanted to.
Hmm.
I'm not doing this for my child. I'm not sending them to these crazy schools.
Hmm.
And the
Hmm.
other parent was so connected to the matrix, they went against that parent. And that's unfortunate. And they when they planned this out, they knew that would happen.
Hmm.
They knew it.
Right.
So,
Right. Right. Right.
but our ancestors are more powerful than anything that they can do. We are more powerful than anything that they can do. We just have to know and trust and believe in that, have faith, and move that way. I don't fear what they can do because the creator that created me is more powerful than that, than
Right.
whatever thing they do.
There was the other day I was on the subway, and there was this young guy who was talking about all these things that they're planning, all these terrible things that they're planning, that it's Orwellian and all that. It's like, yeah, we know that. And I just let him talk for probably like 5 stops. And he just kept on repeating himself. He was in this feedback loop. And as I was getting off the train, he kept on saying, I won't have children because I'm not going to punish them, like being in this world. It's a punishment. It's a punishment. So I can't fathom bringing children into this world to make them suffer. So I went up to him and I said, "Do you know children are needed because they're powerful souls, and these
Mm-hmm.
same people who you are saying are Orwellian don't want you to have children. They want you to live in fear. And you
Mm-hmm.
having children is letting them know that you're not giving into fear. And those children are going to be way stronger than you, and will be able to, fight these people that you're fighting now. Like your children are going to have a higher frequency to be able to take on that fight. That we need their souls here. So don't
Mm-hmm.
give up on having children." And he's like, "I didn't even think about it like that." I was like, "Exactly. I'm giving you balance because you were very doom and gloom. We need balance."
Right. Right. Yeah, we can't. It's what we fear that's going to bring our problems to us. The reason why we collectively are dealing with this type of government because we have allowed the fear to take over, and we've turned over a lot of our sovereignty over to them.
Right. Well,
So
again, it attaches so young. Again, going
right.
back to
Yeah,
the womb and childbirth.
because
And
you've
they've been
been
doing
taught
it
that from
generations.
the minute you were born. What did your mom teach you when you were coming up? She gave you all of the systems ideas of what you should be now.
Hmm.
What did our mom and dad? My mom and dad, they taught me based on what was they felt their religion was telling them to do.
Hmm.
So that's the thing. Those are the challenges. And then you wake up. You always, as a youngster, you always know something ain't right.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to say before I forget, right now, just as a PSA warning, and I've been looking at this for some years now, but I've really been able to articulate this now. Since COVID, they put up the 5G towers, right? They put up all that 5G. You know that those are high frequencies. I believe they're broadcasting fear waves out there. That's why you see a high amount of people having anxiety and don't know where it's coming from. It's in the air. It's actually in the air. You see? So if you're feeling like, hey, something's weird going on, there you go. Is being promoted through the electronic waves. You see, our minds send out waves and we pick
Hmm.
up waves. So some of these negative signals are attaching to our thoughts. And sometimes you can be like, where did that thought come from? I wasn't thinking that. You're picking up these energy waves. And they're blocking, they're interfering, you know? So just to let y'all know that.
So yeah, we need to be a lot stronger.
Huh?
um, we need to be a lot stronger. And the thing is
Yes,
that
we
here
just
they're
gotta be
yeah they're
mindful.
putting up these synthetic. I mean, these satellites, they're synthetic, but we are also satellites. We are more
Yep.
powerful,
Mm-hmm.
but they're
We give
breaking
off
it.
very
You
high
know, they
frequency signals.
right, but they want to break us down.
Mm-hmm.
Or they want to trick us into believing that from birth that we're not.
Yeah, that's
Um,
why they wanting to control the water, the food supply, because it
mhm.
really tears down your power. It really breaks you down.
Right,
Who
right, right,
knows
right.
what power we have if we were to unleash our potential? Who knows?
Well, there's
Think
people
about it.
who have harnessed a lot of the powers, but they stay very quiet.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know.
They have to because they'll be
Yeah,
attacked.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Or never seen again. You know.
Yeah. So
So there's
that's all I had. Is there
yeah. I mean,
anything
there's
you
a
want
lot here, but
to?
it's not even in the same frame. So we could do this on another time. But
Oh,
yeah, we definitely need to we need to support families, we need to support women. I mean, me, someone who works with children and seeing how this medical industrial complex is affecting children, I will stop women in the street, hey, congratulations, you're expecting. Do you mind if I share some things that might help, your
Mm.
pregnancy, and the baby? And all the moms have been pretty receptive,
Right.
you know. Um, Actually, they're surprised because most people are too afraid to approach them or approach
Right.
others. And I'm just sharing whatever I can. Like, um, make sure you have a birth plan, so that way they have a set instructions, and they cannot violate that. But you have to have everything written down, right?
Right.
So that's something else that we could work on to help families.
Right. Right.
Um, and a lot of the women and the dads that are there are just like, I didn't think we could do that, though we just had to listen to whatever the doctor said. And I'm like, nope, you are the boss,
Mm-hmm.
but you
And
have to
that's the
lay
thing.
down the
People just
rules.
assume that they have to do
Mhm.
something.
Right.
Mm.
Well, a lot of them also assume that they have to do something, or they're scared to say anything because of their complexion.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked, yes, exactly. So I worked with this woman who said she was told, and she was from Mexico, didn't speak English. I don't think she was documented. And she said, they told me they wouldn't let me leave the hospital with the baby if I didn't take the shots.
Mm. Yeah, that's what they're doing to people. They call CPS.
Right, right. So that's why community is so important. We have to, make sure that they know that they are powerful. They need to have the proper paperwork. So that way it's just
Well,
like it says in the Bible, it is written. It is written.
so finally, my vision has been coming true this year. Like people are contacting me before they have babies. I said, you have to if you're gonna go to the hospital, you got to put it on notice before you get there. You can't get in there and then decide you don't want to do something. You're gonna have to have this on your file before you do it, and you gotta do it on your religious beliefs. Anything else, they're gonna challenge you. And so far, I have two people this year, they've been fine. They had the babies in the hospital and everything turned out fine. No birth certificate, no shots and things like that. So it's actually I'm happy. I got another one coming in September. Like that's four babies this year already. So
Oh well, then
yeah,
then my niece, so it's gonna
yeah.
be
Oh
fun.
yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right. Yeah, you got to put it on file. She need to have that stuff on file now, like
Yeah,
with the doctors in the hospital. So when she goes in, it's all no conversation.
right.
Yeah. Maybe we could talk about that next week. We could talk about that, since you bringing up
Yeah, for
babies,
a birth plan, like
birth
how to
plans.
have a birth plan. Oh, that is so
What's your
important.
birth plan?
I
Yeah.
so many moms are gonna be tuning into that. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
let's
Let's
do
do
that.
that.
Let's
Yeah,
do that.
next week we're gonna talk about what's your birth plan. What is your birth
Yes,
plan?
yes, yes,
You
yes.
know, because
Perfect.
everyone that I've done so far successful. I've done marriages successful. Even with the whole immigration, I did a marriage, religious marriage. They didn't have go get the license, all that. They the wife went for her green card and got it within a couple of months. Just off of that. Those things take a long time to come through. She applied and she got it. Just none of it just what it's opening my eyes to is the legal stuff that they want you to get is the thing that handicaps you.
Yeah.
Once you free yourself from that, it opens more doors for you have your autonomy.
Hmm.
It's the birth certificates and all of that. Social security card is what's keeping you anchored and keeping you in the box. When you don't have that box, they open the door. Okay, sure, fine. It's not as hard as we think it is. We just think it's hard because we've been taught that you have to have it this way. The government, well, yeah, that's propaganda. That's for the corporation. They want you to get those things
Hmm.
because it
Hmm.
benefits them, but they
Yeah.
will not stop you from having it another way. And you already see that with different communities, they do this stuff already. I'm not doing
Yeah.
anything new. I'm just bringing it to our people that have been miseducated and saying, okay, we need to do like those people are doing,
Hmm.
and you'll be fine. So
Yep.
yeah.
So, all right, we're going to talk about that next week.
Okay. All
Yep.
right. All right. Kinks and Binks, thank you for again for joining the live call, the show, being a part of it. So you are going down forever into YouTube universe on this episode. All right, Raquel. I think we had another good show. We got our
Yeah.
first caller. That means we're gonna have much more callers to go after
Yeah.
this.
Perfect for Lionsgate. Hey, that's
Yes, this is perfect
receding,
timing.
receding.
Just had to keep it moving,
Yeah.
keep putting it out there.
Yep.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in to another episode of Unbound Soul. Next week we're going to be talking about what is your birth plan, and if you know someone that can use this, share this information because there's so many mothers out there. I believe that feeling like she did, she felt alone, and that don't know what they should do. They're scared to go into these hospitals, but they feel like they have no other choice. We
Hmm.
need to think about giving them the choices that
Hmm.
they have.
Yep.
All right, everybody. Well, good night, peace,
All right.
prosperity, sweet wealth, and Raquel, your famous ending.
Paz y mucho, mucho amor.
All right, all right. Good night, everyone. Peace.
All right. Good night.